So Custom Linc are a developer of software solutions for the tourism industry. We do a lot of work with reservation systems and passenger logistics. Firstly, a bit about myself. I'm a Kiwi now based in Australia. Started out in Fox Pro and moved to the Jade Alpha program in '96. I've worked on a number of projects and with a number of people in this room. So I know a number of you have been through my code. Fixed a lot of my earlier mistakes. In 2004 we formed Dual Business Solutions and we had a product called the Dual Reservation System. And year before last we rebranded to Custom Linc. We had a change of ownership, we did a rebranding, and we're a company that's going through a lot of change at the moment. So we, in terms of size, we've gone from 40 to 60 to 80 clients. We've now got 20 staff, 8 in head office in Sydney, and all the rest are remote throughout Australia, and 6 in New Zealand. I'm going to just talk about the rebranding and the transition and the changes we're going through at the moment. So on the left was the old, on the right was the new. Went through a lot of pain and suffering to do the rebranding. It's not something I'd like to do again, but we had a lot of help from Gray, Caroline, Artie, to get the result there you see on the right. That simple rebranding and simple change has been very positive for the company. It's more vibrant, it's more about who we are and what we do, and I'll talk about that shortly. And even the tagline, it's about, for us, it's about moving people, getting people onto boats, onto ferries, onto trains, making sure we've got the right seats available, getting people to where they need to be. It's a list of a few of our clients. One of the perks of the job is to get out to these awesome tourism locations and experience some great activities all around Australia, New Zealand, Fiji. Some of the better ones are going to Queenstown quite often at the moment, up to the Whitsundays, and sometimes someone will just throw you on a helicopter and take you up to the glaciers. So that's some of the perks of the job. On the downside, tourism operators, they run 365 days a year. We don't have big windows for upgrades, so we don't get Easter weekend or a long weekend to do big upgrades. Everything's got to be done, dusted, up and running by probably 5 o'clock in the morning. And that's when the staff come to work, they start working out their schedules for the day, so on and so on. So uptime's very important for us. Product's been around 16 years. We've never done a rewrite. If we go back to our first customer, Greyline Australia, they're still with us. I can log onto that system and look up a booking they made 16 years ago. So we haven't had to purge data for performance reasons. And the Jade product has supported us all the way through. Our competitors, every now and again you hear about them going through rewrites. They're rewriting their code, they're rewriting their back end, they're redoing their front end. And that's when a lot of their clients get frustrated because their old product's not being supported and they're waiting for the beta version of a new product. So over the years, our product has just got stronger and stronger. The functionality the depth in the functionality is a lot greater, but at the end of the day, it's the same product. Another thing about the slide, I guess, is the logistics side. So a lot of our competitors, they're just ticketing systems. Walk up, 2 adults, 2 kids, away you go. With us, there's a lot of logistics, a lot of complexity. With the express services, think about something like Intercity, coach between Auckland and Wellington, people getting on, getting off all the way along. It's only a 40-seater coach, but it could carry 80, 90 people on that journey just with people getting on and getting off. So Jade does a lot of that grunt work for us with the object database. We don't have many competitors in express services because of the logistics component is so complex. Something we did a couple of years ago, well, going right back to the startup business, 2 people, we just sort of sold anything and everything to whoever came along. So not a great strategy. But it did give us a very diverse and powerful product. What we did a couple of years ago was we had a look at the marketplace and we broke it down into the ticketing systems, the reservation systems, and the logistics. And then we had a lot of cloud operators coming out into the market, very simple systems, very basic systems, and very cheap. And we just said, nah, let them do it. We're not interested in the mum and dad operators. So we've just made a decision not to compete. We don't care. Other competitors in the marketplace, they sell a product, shrink wrapped in a box. It's got a manual, it's got an installation guide. You can install the product, but you get what you're given in the box. And we said, no, that's not us either. So we do a little bit of ticketing, especially when there's a logistics component, but there's dozens and dozens of ticketing systems out there. And we just said, you know, we'll have a look if one comes up, but that's not what we do either. So that moved us into, well, we now know where we sit in the enterprise reservation systems. And one of the comments a minute ago was, at that level, you have to customize. None of those customers we saw earlier are the same. So each one of them is unique, especially in their operations and their logistics. And a lot of those people also have, well, they're coming off custom builds. So old systems, really old systems, they're end of life, and they go to market looking for a replacement, and they don't want to go through a custom build again. We hear the stories. People spend $2-3 million on custom builds. They're too sophisticated to buy a product off the shelf, and they come to us for what is a solid system, a diverse system, but a system that can be customized. And a lot of our work is in that customization. And that's what came out in the work we did with Jade Marketing and why we went with Custom Linc. So the custom side of it was the customization. The Linc side of it was operators connecting with their agents and connecting with their clients. And that's worked really well for us. We've had a lot of positive feedback on that change. That's a screenshot I've just swiped. Not too worried about the stuff in the middle. That's customer config stuff, and I've missed a few boxes, but it sort of goes along with the topics we've heard today with the skins. So there was a question at the back about how difficult the skins were. We took a Jade 6 skin, I believe it was aquatic, Windows Aquatic or something like that. We gave it to a student and we just said, here's the, I don't know how many elements, maybe 20 or 30 elements. And we just said, change this, change that. Told them what we wanted, and came up with this skin here. We even went to the extent of getting rid of the Windows menu at the top. So we just go straight from the caption bar to the toolbar and then down to the toolbar, the status bar at the bottom. The icons we just downloaded off the internet. I can't remember how much it cost, but can't remember if it was $50 or $200, but somewhere around there. Just downloaded a library of icons, and we just used what came in the packet. The skins are applied throughout the whole app. There's a drop box there, a combo box, and that's the only control that we've actually customized a specific control for the drop box. All the rest is just standard. So from those Jade 6 skins, we just ported it up to Jade 7 skins. We didn't get fancy. And again, we just kept it simple. There's about 500 forms in the system, about 500 persistent classes. And with the Windows Thin Client, that's really important to us, especially in what we call high volume ticketing operations. So our customers are at the enterprise level. They do have hundreds or even thousands of passengers a day. They have queues of people out the door. So fast ticketing is really, really important to them. So Windows Touch, big buttons, and we integrate with a lot of devices as well. So receipt printers, ticket printers, scanners, all that sort of stuff. So the Windows Thin Client is very important to us, and if we go head to head with the browser-based system, we pretty much beat them every time. The browser's just too slow. Doesn't have the integration functionality, so on and so on.
How often do you have issues with Mac users?
If we did, I don't know, 15 or 20 sales pitches a year, maybe one would be a Mac outfit. Most enterprise businesses run Windows. So it's really the smaller mum and dad type businesses. And going back to that previous slide, we just said we're not interested. So we're punching at the enterprise level. So yeah, over the last few years, we've gone 40, 60, 80 clients. We're growing a lot. There's a lot of change in the business. We manage and monitor our own databases. So probably 80% of our databases are hosted in data centres, our data centres in Auckland or Sydney. About 20% are hosted on site by clients themselves. The support team, they just use Zendesk support tool. So our clients just email into support@CustomLinc. Ticket gets created in Zendesk. We suck that ticket across into our own homemade system, which is a Jade system. And we call that the app launcher. So if a client rings up, Real Journeys, we'll type in Real Journeys, the client will come up, we can see all their tickets. We double click on the ticket and the clock starts, so we're recording time against all our activities. It is a homemade app, it's an internal app, and that's the first one we upgraded to Jade 2016. So we did that pretty much straight away, and we'll just use that, get confidence in Jade 2016, and then later this year we'll start rolling out Jade 2016. The app launcher is something, because it's in-house, we can do whatever we want with it, and we just keep adding functionality. So we use it for internal communications. It's got a calendar, planner, record our meeting notes. We do systems monitoring, so all our Jade apps, wherever they are, they run a schema called the Database Management Toolset that just runs inside the Jade server node. That does the backups, it does deploys. So to do a deploy, we just drop a zip file of the schemas on the server, and that database management tool set, if it finds a zip file, it'll unzip it, it'll do a backup, unzip it, load the schemas, fire itself up again, and then do a secondary backup. That app is also looking for exception logs, and when it finds one, it just sends it back into our app launcher. So that's our own in-house monitoring tool we use for all our Jade systems. We also monitor the jobs, so we have overnight jobs. That's our job queue manager running on all these systems, and then if those jobs don't run, that gets notified back. Well, the app launcher is waiting for a notification to know that the jobs have run on all those client sites. If those jobs don't run, then things don't happen, and that might mean pickup schedules not going out to drivers at 5 o'clock in the morning, that sort of thing. We also have an offline version of the system, so we have boats going out to the Great Barrier Reef. They go out of range, so we've got a standalone, cut down, simplified Jade system. You can transact on that system, sell chips and drinks, dives, helicopter rides, and when it comes back in range, it will synchronise with the primary database. So yeah, going back to the Whitsunday scenario, that used to be all manual. They had boxes and boxes of paperwork coming off the boats, and once we put that system in, the paperwork disappeared. The accountants could see the transactions coming in when the boat was still half an hour from the jetty, and they just couldn't believe it. So we really delivered a lot of value there. There's a lot of work in it, a lot of complexity with the synchronisation, but we delivered a lot of value with a point of sale system on the boat that synchronised with the primary database when it got back in range. I've already talked about the database management tool sets. PA Server Monitor, that's just a tool out on the net. You can install it in your data center, and it just monitors your servers for disk space, memory usage, CPU, all that sort of stuff. So we've got that sending emails to OpsGenie, and then our team is on a roster on OpsGenie. And so if a server has some sort of condition, then we fire off the alert, and we get a phone message. If that's not answered, it'll go to another member of the team. If that's not answered, it'll go to another member of the team. So we're sort of self-contained. We don't outsource a lot other than the hosting. Graphic design is all pretty simple. We don't try to do anything fancy. Keep it simple. That was all I had. Any questions?